Hi, I'm Ray Williams of openimage.com.au. Today I thought we'd go through some sharpening. I thought I'd take you through three regularly used sharpening tools, one in the raw converter and two in Photoshop. So here we go. So let's go and get an image. I'm going to go and grab one of these. So first of all, I'm going to grab an image taken off a little Fuji X20. And this was taken at QVB building, Queen Victoria building in Sydney. So not so much about the shot itself, I just obviously want to lighten things up. So I'm going to do a little bit of lightening on here just to prepare it a little bit to how I would want it to be, something like that. And it's not quite straight, so I'm going to straighten it up a bit. Just using the straightening tool in the raw converter. And that's about... Yep, happy with that. And if we're there, then as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough at this time to go across. So let's go across and open it into Photoshop. Alright, here we go. So in Photoshop, what I'm going to do is go through the first of the sharpening tools, which is this one over here on the left hand side in the toolbar. And of course it's called Sharpening Tool. Give me a sec. I'm going to first of all duplicate my background. As you can see now, I've got two layers, and I'm going to do the sharpening tool on this one, on the layer 1. So with that selected, with a nice big brush, because I'm going to just sharpen up the cushions on the seat itself here. So going here, use a strength of about 40%. I don't think I need anything more than that. Yep, that's good. And then just simply sweep across. Just sweep and hold. And when you let it go, it will go off and do its thing, as you can see mine is doing now. And when it finishes, you can easily see if it's done anything. I'll show you. Yes, my system's going a bit slow. But anyway, not to worry, we'll get there. Here we go. That's done. So if I come here and take off the layer, you can see there's a very slight sharpen gone on in there. I think I'll give it another bout. So it's basically click and hold and just drag and then let go. Let's give it a bit more. And that should be just about it. So this is obviously when you want to have a selected part of your image sharpened, not the whole image. So if you look now, see the cushion's a lot more brighter. Get that? I think that worked quite nicely. And of course I could keep on going until I get to the point where either I'm pixelating the image or I've taken it too far and it just looks a bit ridiculous. But at the moment I'm quite happy the way it looks there now. I wanted these cushion pieces to come up and shine a little bit, and I think that's done that. So let's just have a look again. Hold on, it's still thinking about it. Alright, there we go. So this obviously is when I'm sharpening a part of the image. So that's the sharpening tool. Nice tool to use. A lot of people use it around eyes, especially using it around the actual iris of the eye. Have a go with that. So I'm going to take the visibility of this one. I'm actually going to group it and call it just a sharpening tool. That way I know where it is. Sharpening tool. Okay. Alright, so now we're back to the original. So this time I'm going to use another Photoshop one, which is called a high pass. Now you'll have seen me use the high pass in some of my other tutorials, but just purely, let's have a quick look at this one. So again, I'm going to duplicate the background, Control J, and there's a copy of the background. And on the copy, what I'm going to do is now go up to Filter, Other, High Pass. So that's Filter, Other, High Pass. And when you click on that, you'll get something that looks like this. Now it looks a bit weird, I know, right? But that's what it's supposed to look like. Now every image is going to have different values in here. I normally go at somewhere between 10 and 15 for me, on a 12 to 14 megapixel image, but again, your image may be different. So this is now where we wanted to sharpen the whole image, not just the seat, but everything. And you know, it depends on your image. You'll see what I mean. Now the other thing about it is that when you look at the image itself, you're trying to make sure that all the textures in the image is really not visible, and so you're just getting the outline, something like that. There we go. And once you say OK to that, of course that's just stage one. Stage two is then to come over to your layer palette, into the layers, and you're going to go into your blending modes here and go down to overlay. So that's layer palettes, blending modes, overlay. And when you do that, you'll see the whole image has been sharpened. So just to see the difference, that's with it sharpened, that's without. That's with. Quite colossal, isn't it? See that? So it does make a huge difference depending on obviously the image. But if you know, most images you see published these days in papers and news magazines and so on are well sharpened, not overly sharpened, but sharpened. I think it's a thing of the digital camera that you do need to sharpen your images if you're going to publish them. So there you go. That's that way of doing it. I'm going to bring you over to another image now, and this time I'm going to go through the raw converter and use the raw converter sharpening process. So if I go in here, come back down, sorry, and go to, I'm going to open this image, which again was done at the QVB, Queen Victoria Building, and of some escalators. So here we are now in the raw converter, and so you can, if you're shooting in raw, you can start your sharpening experience from here before of course you bring it into Photoshop. And some people don't obviously go into Photoshop, just go from raw straight through. So this is another way of going about it. So you have a raw image, you choose to do some stuff on this one. So you may want to lighten this up to whatever you're going to do in your basic settings. But down here where it says clarity, this is your sharpening area, or the start of your sharpening area. So in here, if I then decided to whack it all the way up, what you're looking at is getting much more sharp. And I use this image purely because you can see the edges of the escalator here. So this is how it started. And to bring it up. Now I wouldn't go all the way with this one. I'd probably sharpen it like about there, which would give you a nice finish to the image. You do have a sharpening area in here, which is the one that says sharpen. There we go. Which also allow you to change or to mask the sharpening area, the sharpening pieces of this one. So I could choose to have a particular part of it done, but really I would do this kind of masking sharpening in the Photoshop program, not in here. It's not as pliable, but certainly just gives you an idea of the different ways you can go about sharpening. So there's this way, which is through the raw converter, which works quite well. Or there's this way, using two different ways of doing it. You can either use the sharpening tool, which is sitting up here on the toolbar, and use that one, which is sitting under blur tool if you find that. Or you can use the high pass method, which is to then create a layer and go to filter, other, high pass. Hope this makes sense. I hope this all works for you, and I'll see you on the next time.